the number one reason most people fail to make great totopos, also known as corn tortilla chips, is very simple. And I will show you the exact method for the perfect guacamole chip, plus a lighter baked version, so you can eat them semi-guilt-free. But first, let's make this basic corn dough. The good news is we don't need to use nixtamalized corn, which can be either way too hard to find or too expensive. We start with 90 grams or 6 tablespoons of drinkable tap water. Dissolve 3 grams or half a teaspoon of salt in there, followed by 120 grams or 1 cup of finely ground cornmeal or polenta, and 120 grams or 1 cup of plain flour. Mix it all to force a good friendship, any way you want. It'll struggle at first to understand, but don't worry, after a good few firm squeezes, it'll start to get the point. Once you have a dough, you place it into a food-safe bag to fully hydrate. Flatten it out a little bit to speed up the process. Very important step you don't want to skip. Let it hang out for 15 minutes at room temperature, which gives us time to look at a slightly but still healthier baked version. Into a bowl goes 250 grams or 1 cup of drinkable tap water, 3 grams or half a teaspoon of salt, 120 grams or 1 cup of fine cornmeal or finely ground polenta, 120 grams or 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 80 grams or a third of a cup of extra virgin olive oil, and that's it. Give it all a mix until you have something, well, resembling a runny pancake batter. Likewise, we let the flour hydrate by letting it rest and hanging out at room temp for 15 minutes. For now, back to the start of the show, our classic dough. And you will realize we made something same but a little different to pasta dough. And the best way to roll this out is of course to use a pasta machine attachment. If you don't have one, then simply a rolling pin, elbow grease and stamina, which is quite scarce nowadays. Anyway, you cut it up into more manageable pieces. Have some flour around to dust it with, otherwise it'll stick, which will cause problems. And those are easier avoided than dealing with them later. Feed your dough through the machine, going step by step thinner with each pass. Flour it slightly between goes until you have something about a credit card thick. You should have many lying around as a reference. Flour up a tray because we need some way to put these as we cut them up. Before we cut them though, optionally you run a fork over it. Dog a few holes here and there to avoid uneven puffing when we fry these. You can keep the edges rough or tidy them up like I'm doing here. You can use a knife or a pizza cutter. Your life, your choice. And also your choice is the shape you want these to be. I stick to these classic triangles, but you can easily do strips, rounds, sombreros, or whatever you fancy. Once cut, you get them onto your floured tray and continue the journey. Next, we heat some cooking oil to around 170 degrees Celsius or 338 degrees Fahrenheit. Prepare another tray lined with kitchen paper to catch any excess grease once fried. Fry these in little batches of 4 to 6 pieces, making sure not to overcrowd the pot. Move them around and flip a few times to make sure they cook evenly. Once golden and looking good, remove them from the oil and drain on the paper towel. Optionally, but highly necessary, sprinkle them with some chipotle powder. They're good as is, but before we get to the guacamole, let's have a look at the baked version. Preheat your oven to 160 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Mix your batter again in order to emulsify it. Spread a thin layer onto a silicone baking mat or simply baking paper. You can use one of these called an offset spatula or simply an egg lifter will do. Get it as even as possible for, well, even browning. Into the oven it goes, and you bake it for around 12 minutes, or until the whole thing is golden brown and crispy. You have a large batch, so crack on. Once these are done, they are quite delicate, light and crispy. Perfect to feel less guilty about. But we can't have any of this without a good guacamole, which can be as simple or as fancy as you like. For this one, we simply take a couple of ripe Hass avocados, scoop them into a pestle and mortar to be authentic, into a blender for convenience, followed by non-negotiably lime juice. Bruise them up a bit to release the juice without a fight. Use as much or as little as you want. I like to go with about half a lime for this amount of avocado. In with a few pinches of salt, then give it a few stomps and mixes until you have a rustic looking guac. Don't be too rough though, we want some chunky bits in there, and not a smooth puree. Finally, a little bit of chopped scallions or red onion goes in, and a generous sprinkling of ground chipotle. Now before we get to the most important part of it all, have a dip, have a bite, and go live a happy life.